Dear students, good morning. Now we are going to study about ecological adaptations. Modifications in the structure of organisms to survive successfully in an environment are called adaptations of organisms. Based on the habitat and the corresponding adaptations of plants, they are classified as hydrophytes, xerophytes, mesophytes, epiphytes, and holophytes. Hydrophytes. The plants which are living in water or wet places are called hydrophytes. According to their relation to water and air, they are subdivided into the following categories: free floating hydrophytes, rooted floating hydrophytes, submerged floating hydrophytes, root submerged hydrophytes, amphibious hydrophytes. First one, free floating hydrophytes. These plants float freely on the surface of water. Example, Eichhornia. Number two, rooted floating hydrophytes. These plants, the roots are fixed in mud, but their leaves and flowers are floating on the surface of water. Example, Nilambu. Submerged floating hydrophytes. These plants completely submerged in water and not in contact with soil and air. Example, Utricularia. Rooted submerged hydrophytes. These plants are completely submerged in water and rooted in soil and not in contact with air. Example, Hydrilla. Amphibious hydrophytes. These plants are adapted to both aquatic and terrestrial modes of life. Example, Typha. Morphological adaptations of hydrophytes. In root, roots are totally absent, poorly developed in hydrilla. The root caps are replaced by root pockets. Example, Eichhornia. In stem, the stem is long, slender, spongy, and flexible in submerged form. In free floating forms, the stem is thick, short, and spongy. It is rhizome. Vegetative propagation is through runners, stolen. In leaves, the leaves are thin, long, and ribbon shaped in Vallisneria. The floating leaves are large and flat as in Nimbe and Nilambu. In emergent forms, the leaves shows heterophyllous. Then anatomical adaptations. Cuticle is either completely absent or if present it is thin and poorly developed. Single layer of epidermis is present. Cortex is well developed with erythema. Vascular tissues are poorly developed. Mechanical tissues are generally absent. Then next one, physiological adaptations of hydrophytes. Hydrophytes have the ability to withstand anaerobic conditions. They possess special aerating organs. Then next one is xerophytes. The plants which are living in dry conditions are known as xerophytes. Xerophytic habitat can be of two different types: physical dryness and physiological dryness. Physical dryness. In this habitat, soil has a little amount of water due to the inability of the soil to hold water because of low rainfall. Physiological dryness. In this habitat, water is sufficiently present, but plants are unable to absorb it because of the absence of capillary spaces. Example, plants in salty and acidic soil. Based on adaptive characters, xerophytes are classified into three categories. They are ephemerals, succulents, and non-succulent plants. Ephemerals. These are also called drought escapers or drought evaders. These plants complete their life cycle within a short period. These are not true xerophytes. Example, Molugu. Succulents. These are also called drought enduring plants. These plants store water in their plant part during their dry period. Example, Opuntia. Non-succulents. These are also called drought-resistant plants. They have many adaptations to resist dry condition. Lyrium. Morphological adaptation. In root system is well developed. Root hairs and root caps are also well developed. In stem are mostly hard and woody. Stem and leaves are covered with wax coating. In some xerophyte, stems are modified into fleshy phylloclade. In some, the petiole is modified into a fleshy leaf-like structure called phylloclade. Phyllodes. Example, acacia. In some cases, one or two internodes modified into fleshy green cladode. In leaves are generally leathery and shiny to reflect light and heat. In some cases, the stipules are modified into spines. In some cases, the entire leaves are modified into spines. Example, Opuntia. Anatomical adaptations. Presence of multi-layered epidermis with a thick cuticle to prevent water loss. Hypodermis is well developed with a multi-layered sclerenchymatous tissue. Sunken stomata is present in the lower epidermis. Vascular bundles are well developed. Mesovilli is well differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma. Physiological adaptations. Most of the physiological process are designed to reduce transpiration. Life cycle is completed within a short period. Example, ephemerals. The next one is mesophytes. The plants which are living in moderate conditions are called as mesophytes. Morphological adaptations. Root system is well developed. Stems are generally aerial, stout and highly branched. Leaves are large. Anatomical adaptation. Cuticle is aerial. Epidermis is well developed. Mesovilli is well differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma. Vascular and mechanical tissues are fairly developed. Physiological adaptation. All physiological processes are normal. Temporary wilting takes place at room temperature when there is water scarcity. Epiphytes. These are plants which grow perched on other plants, or example, orchids, money plants, etc. Morphological adaptations. Root system is extremely developed. These roots are of two types. They are clinging roots and aerial roots. Clinging root. These fix the epiphytes firmly on the surface of the supporting object. Aerial roots. These are green colored roots. which may hang downward and absorb moisture from the atmosphere with the help of a spongy tissue called velamen. Stem of some epiphytes are succulent. The leaves are lesser in number. The fruits and seeds are very small. Then anatomical adaptation. Multi-layered epidermis is present. Presence of thick cuticles. Succulent epiphytes contain well-developed parenchymal cells to store water. Physiological adaptations. Special absorption process of water by velamen tissue. Halophytes. These plants which grow in soil with a high concentration of salt. Example, Rhizopora. Halophytes are usually found near the seashore and estuaries. These are also known as mangrove forest and plants are called mangroves. Morphological adaptations. The temperate halophytes are herbaceous. Many slip roots are developed. A special type of negatively geotrophic roots are called nematophores. To get sufficient aeration are also present. They are called breathing roots. Example, Abyssinia. Presence of thick cuticle on the aerial part of the plant body. Leaves are thick and they are succulent. Vivipary mode of seed germination is found in halophytes. Anatomical adaptations. Epidermal cells of stem is heavy, glutinized, are filled with oil and tannins. Star-shaped sclerites and egg-shaped heavy thickened spicules that are provide mechanical strength to cortex are present in the stem. Leaves may be dorsiventral. Physiological adaptations. High osmotic pressure exists in some plants. Seeds germinates in the fruits of mother plant itself. Then next one is dispersal of fruits and seeds. Both fruits and seeds possesses attractive color, odor, shape and taste needed for the dispersal by birds, mammals, reptiles, fish, ants, insect and earthworm. The seed consists of an embryo, stored food and a protective covering called seed coat. The dispersal of seed and fruits to various distances from the parent plant is called dispersal of fruit and seeds. It is influenced by many ecologically favorable conditions. Dispersal by wind. It is quite common in tall trees. Adaptations of wind dispersal plants are minute seeds, example orchids. Wings. Seeds are whole, fruits are flattened to form a wing-like structure, example Gyrocarpus. Feathery appendages is greatly increases their buoyancy to disperse to high altitude. Sensor mechanism. Here the seeds can escape when a fruit is violently shaken by a strong wind, example poppy. Dispersal by water. Adaptation of hydropory or dispersal by water are prominent air spaces, example Nelambur. presence of fibrous mesocarp, example coconut. Seeds are light, small, example limbaya. The fruits may be flattened, dispersal by animals, otherwise called as zoogory. They have the following diseases: cooked fruits. Second one, sticky fruits and seeds. Some fruits have sticky glandular hairs by which they adhere in the fur of grazing animals. Some fruits have viscoid layer which adhere to the beak of the bird, which eat them, and they rub their onto the branch of the tree. Rub them on the pot. It will rub. Then the birds will rub on to the branch of the tree. Example, cordia. And fleshy fruits. Some fleshy fruits with conspicuous colors are dispersed. Example, mango. Dispersal by explosive mechanism. Mere touch of some plants causes the ripened fruit to explode suddenly, and seeds are thrown out with great force. Example, cura. Some fruits, when they come in contact with water, burst suddenly with a noise and scatter the seeds. Certain long pods explode with a loud noise like crackers, scattering the seeds in all directions. Human aided seed dispersal. Seed bull. It is an ancient Japanese technique of engaging seeds in a mixture of clay and soil humus and scattering them onto suitable ground, not planting of trees manually. Advantages of seeds dispersal. Seeds escape from mortality near the parent plant due to predation. Dispersal also gives a chance to occupy favorable sites for growth. It is an important process in the movement of plant genus. Seed dispersal by animals help in conservation of many species even in human altered ecosystem. Understanding of fruits and seed dispersal acts as a key for proper functioning and establishment of many ecosystems. Thank you, children.